Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn about proper ways of referencing in your work, usually in your project work, in your thesis or anything. But before you continue, make sure you subscribe to this channel, make sure you like this video, make sure you share the video with your friends. So now let's proceed. So in referencing, usually reference from a journal, you reference from a book, sometimes you reference from a report. In some other cases you would want to reference from a website. In all these cases, you're going to learn about how to do the referencing correctly. Okay, so here there's a sample I have over here. I've taken all the references out. Okay, so you're going to use this as a sample to actually learn how to do the proper referencing. Okay, but before we move on, I would want to show you something in my browser. So I Google search proper referencing technique and then this just came up. So the APA referencing style is what is used over here I'm coming from an Anglophone country, and usually in universities you see that you use what the APA referencing. So as a tool, you can use Microsoft Word itself, but then there's also an option, a tool you can use to reference in your work. So this tool is what we call the Scriber. Okay, let's see the spelling of the Scriber. So I search the Scriber and let's visit their website. So this Scriber is a tool that allows you to reference any material in your project work. Okay, so we're going to learn about how to use this Scriber tool. On their website you see there's citation generator. So we just tap on the citation generator. So upon tapping on it, you just see this page generates. Okay, this citation generator. So over here you see that we can cite a web page, a book, an article, and more. So you realize that this tool assists you to do all the various forms of the referencing that we talked about. Okay, so you can go ahead to log in. If you don't have an account with them, you can just go ahead and log in. But if not, you sign up. Okay, so quickly you go through these processes to log in with them, or you just sign up. I'm just going to go ahead with my Google account and let's do that fast. If not, like I said, you go ahead and then you sign up to the website. Okay, so upon going through those processes, logging and signing up and all that, you come back to this web page. So for you to really understand, I want to implement something. Okay, I'm going to actually reference a document from a website for you to actually understand how this Scriber helps us to reference in our project work. So let me just copy this part of my work over here into Google and then reference from Google this statement. Okay, so I just paste my statement over there and then automatically Google gives me where the statement is from. Okay, so we see that it's from here, it's from this website. So I just tap on it and then this is the website that I'm going to reference for. Okay, I'm going to use this as an example for you to see. Okay, so if you want to reference from here, you see there's a cite button over here on the website. You could just go ahead and tap on cite and then it's going to show you some processes where you can cite. So upon tapping on cite, you see this one comes, the full reference comes over here. So you can just go ahead and copy it, and then you need the APA referencing style. Okay, so you just select the APA style and then you copy this one into your project work. Okay, so you'll go ahead, let's open our Microsoft Word documents and then let's paste it. Okay, so we come here, we create a section of our work called references. Okay, so you just go ahead and paste it over here straight away. But then you realize that you have to do the in-text referencing too. Later I'm going to show you how to do the in-text referencing, but for now, you see when you tap on bibliography over there, automatically you get the options to paste in, to automatically insert all your references where you don't have to manually type it. Okay, so I'm going to show you, so you can actually go ahead and paste your reference. You go over there, over here you can just do that. Okay, they are saying that there are no sources in the current document because we need to do the in-text referencing too. But then I want to show you how Scriber can actually help us to make this easy. So you just copy the link where the document is, and you come and paste it inside Scriber's website. Okay, so upon pasting it, you just click on your enter key. Okay, so here it's telling me it's unable to access the page. I think there's something wrong. So in the cases where it's unable to access the page, you can manually do it a reference from a web page. So you go over there and select web page. I think I didn't copy the link well or something, but then you see on every website there is the title. For you to do it manually, I'm showing you, if you face the error that I just faced, you can manually copy the title of the project work. Okay, you could get it from there, and then the name of the website too, you can get it from here. It's called the PubMed Central. So the website name, you can just go ahead and then type it in the PubMed Central. Okay, then back to the website. Let me reload the website very well. What are the fields we need to fill in? Okay, we also need to fill in a publication date and all of that. Okay, there are so many empty spaces here, but after filling in all those spaces, you just tap on site source down there. You see there's a button that I just clicked on, site source. So you click it and you see that automatically it loads the reference for you, the reference that you're going to be using in your project work. It loads it for you and you get to make use of it. Okay, so you get to end. So there you see it has loaded for you nicely. Okay, so with this reference, you can just copy it, or you can export to latex, where you'll be able to use it together with your Mendeley reference manager. Okay, so in another video I shared how you can use Mendeley reference manager to reference in your project work. Okay, I'm not going to show you right now, but then I'm going to go through the processes as if you know it already. So for you to properly understand it, I want you to go watch my video. The link is in the description on how to use Mendeley to reference your project work. Okay, so like I said, you can go ahead and straight copy the reference and come and use it in your project work. But then to make it more efficient, I'm going to use my Mendeley reference manager in collaboration with this Scriber website to reference for my work. Okay, so you see I tapped on that button, export to latex. So when you tap on export to latex, this latex is a piece of code that the Mendeley can make use of in order to reference in your project work. Okay, so I just copied that portion, I just copied this code, and then I open my Mendeley reference manager software. Okay, so when I open that Mendeley manager software, reference manager software, the next thing I go to is that I click on this button. The button you see over here, which is what, edit. Okay, so when I click on this edit, then the next thing I just click on is paste. You see there's a paste button there. So the code is inside of your system. As soon as you click on paste, what you realize is that the full reference loads in your Mendeley reference manager. It happens automatically. So for us to follow the processes and did everything according to plan, the full reference loads. Okay, so then when the full reference loads, you can go ahead and insert, do the normal processes of inserting a reference, and then you just insert the reference inside of a project work. So you tap on site, and then you see the reference loads. But then here you see so many errors over here. Yes, you are seeing so many errors over here because I did not check to see in my Mendeley reference manager if all the spaces were filled correctly. So going back to our Mendeley reference manager, I'm going to show you something. Okay, let me go to insert citation. Look over here in these spaces. You realize that all these portions are empty for the particular reference I want to insert. So in your reference, in reference of your project work, you have to make sure that all these spaces are filled. So you don't just reference anything material in your project work. You need to ensure that the material that you are referencing from, does it have the name of the author? Does it have the year? Does it have the journal name? Does it have the publisher? You need to ensure that all these pieces are filled before you can insert in your project work. Okay, so if you realize that all these spaces are not filled, it means there's something wrong and you need to correct it before you can reference in your project work. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so if you get what I'm saying, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, and if you need me to do further explanation, please note it in the comment section. Thank you. And so I'm going to show you an example of a full reference package. Okay, so look at this full reference package. The name of the journal is there. Okay, the name of the journal is there, the year in which it is published was there, the volume, the issue, the pages that the journal is found, and a whole lot of information is here. So you realize that for something like this, you have a full information about this journal you want to reference from. Okay, so in cases where you don't have the full information, it is your duty to go and find out those information and fill it in, or if not, you find the proper document to reference from. You get what I'm saying? So that is as simple as that. So meaning, for a reference like this, we can actually use it in our project work. So we go back, we do the correct thing, and then we just click on cite, and then it cites in our project work. You see that the citation has been inserted. Okay, but then it wouldn't show in our references because this is not the correct mendeley referencing bibliography is insertion, so as to say it. So with that one, you have to just click on this one, insert bibliography, and then manually type in your references. Okay, so this is basically how you do a proper referencing in your project work. You have the name of the author, and you have the year in which the article was established, and then in your bibliography it is there. Okay, so now let's go back to our Scriber AP referencing, and let me show you another example for you to understand what I just said before. So this time around, we copy the statement from our document, and then we go ahead to paste the document, the statement into our browser, and then our browser generates and the source of the reference for us, so we're able to access the website in which this information is coming from. And then the next thing we do is that we copy the link of the website into the Scriber AP referencing, and then this time around you see that the full reference generates for us automatically with the Scriber. Okay, the last time we had to do it manually, but this time around you see that everything happens automatically. So as it happens automatically, you can go ahead and copy to the clipboard, but then I prefer to use the LaTeX option. Okay, because mendeley actually helps you to actually implement this feature easily. So you just tap on copy to clipboard, and then you open your mendeley, you tap on edit, and then the next thing you tap on is paste. Okay, and then when you paste it, the full reference should show. Okay, so over here mendeley alerts me that the full details are not correct. I think this time around the link couldn't paste very well because these spaces are all empty. Sometimes because of your network, mendeley is not able to load the full detail of the reference. Okay, so when it happens in this case, you just copy it again, and then just tap on paste, and then it will reload for you. This is basically teaching you how to combine my Scriber and then my mendeley. Next, I'm going to show you how to reference with the Microsoft Word software itself without using an external referencing software. Okay, so in order to reference from Microsoft Word itself, there's something you need to know. Okay, so just open your Microsoft Word, go back to your Microsoft Word document, just tap on insert citation. So in the spaces over here, you're going to fill all these spaces in your citation in which you want to insert. So just enter the name of the author, enter the title, enter the journal name. You could also enter the year the article was published, and you just enter the pages and then tap on OK. So automatically you see that it happens as simple as that. Okay, so for this time around, its bibliography is also somewhere else. It is not attached to the mendeley's own, so you have to go ahead and tap on bibliography over here. Okay, see what I'm doing? Tap on bibliography over here. It inserts that of the Microsoft Word, and then you can copy it and attach that reference to the other one. Okay, if you don't do this, take note, some of your references will be lost, because in this case I'm combining mendeley referencing with normal referencing. That is why I did that. But then that is why it is always appropriate to stick to one method of referencing. Okay, so if you go about referencing manually and then referencing from mendeley, sometimes you might get confused and you will not be able to fuse your two references together. Okay, so if you are sticking to in-text references, stick to it. But then if you want to fuse the two, make sure you are careful to know where to actually insert your bibliography from. Okay, so I combine my two references, and then the next thing I do is I make sure I number them properly. Okay, make sure you number your references properly. Some supervisors will insist that you make the first name bolded. Okay, so for example, the Francis you see over here, some supervisors insist that Francis should be in bold. Okay, and the same is over there should be in bold. But then if your supervisor doesn't insist on that, you just leave it like this and then you are good to go. Okay, so I'm going to show you something. I'm going to reference from Mendeley one more time, and then I'm going to insert the bibliography again in order to update my list of bibliography. So I go ahead and then I insert my citation. Okay, so when I inserted my citation, did you realize something? Did you realize that what the bibliography updated, but then the Francis was lost? Okay, so in this case, you have to manually come and add the Francis citation that you did with the Microsoft Word citation. Okay, take note of what I did. If not, at the end of the day, you might lose some of your citations. Okay, so you do that and then you are good to go. Also take note that anytime you are referencing and then you see this et al, you see this et al, this et al is supposed to be italicized. Okay, so all the et als in your in-text references, you highlight them and then what you reference, you italize. Okay, if you don't italize, you're going to be, you realize that your supervisor will circle that part of your work. So look for all the et als in your work and what italize them. Okay, and so I'm going to show you this part too. It needs some editing. Okay, so after you've inserted all your references over here, sometimes you also need to cross-check this one and edit it. Okay, so right now you have to realize that the basic structure for a reference is that first there should be the name of the author or the name of the artist who wrote the article, the journal, or anything. Okay, then secondly, it should follow by the year, and thirdly, that should follow by the title of the work. So it should follow by the title of the work, and then which is followed by the name of the journal. The name of the journal comes, and then anything that follows, that's the issue and the pages and all that. And then the last thing that should come is the link that helps you to access the website, where you could the link to access the resource. Okay, so now when it comes to the editing of the names, I want you to take note of something. Anytime you are doing abbreviations, okay, anytime you are doing abbreviations, you make sure that there is a dot that comes between the alphabet. Okay, so you realize that sometimes when you insert a reference, the dots don't come between the alphabet. So let me show you an example where the dots don't come. So for example, look at this one. You could see clearly that this is an incorrect referencing type. Okay, so for example, it doesn't show you the first name of the author. It doesn't really put a dot between the abbreviations of the name. So yeah, essentially you get confused seeing such a reference like this, and then you realize that your lecturer would circle this reference. Okay, so you need to check that. Okay, so you see another one over here. This is something which it is very, 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 very wrong. Okay, so for something like this, you need to cross-check your document which you used to reference, and if anything you have to replace it, then you do replace it. But if you would also have to insert the name of the authors themselves, then you do that manually. Okay, you do that manually. But then something like this is very wrong. It doesn't specify the name of the author, it doesn't specify their first name, their last name, and even the abbreviation. It doesn't put full stops between the abbreviations. Okay, which is very, very bad. And then another thing I want you to notice too is the arrangement, as I said before. So you could see that the journal name comes, and then the pages and the issue number all comes afterwards. Okay, so you look at another reference like this. This reference is such a confusing one, though it is a reference from a website, but then it doesn't show you the title of the work. It merely shows you the source of the website. Okay, so for a reference like this, it is very confusing. You must cross-check and fix the errors in it. So these and many more you would have to know. There's still a lot more you need to know, okay? And for that, you need to do a lot of reading on the internet, and also you have to sit down with your supervisor and listen to what he or she says that you should do, okay, and implement them in your work. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you really like this video, give it a thumbs up, okay, and then make sure you subscribe to this channel, okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.